My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system, which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com.
5 PKH 517, molesting. Directed light, this is absolutely inexplicable light that's occurring on the inside of the car. And by inexplicable, I am referencing again the demonic. And so I'm showing you demonic activity as you are observing it in the environment. And inside of the car, parked outside of 630 North Fern, across the street from 630 North Fern in Ontario, California, and 325 West G Street. I'm at the intersection of G Street and Fern Avenue. The entity's fake sun. All right, this demonic entity, because that's what it is. This is not the natural environment, and that's why it's referred to that way. The entity's fake sun is remaining in perfect alignment with me while I sit inside of this car at Fern and G Street in Ontario, California. And I took a picture at 7:49 a.m. The documentation showing the placement of a fake sun, which would be east of this location, 8ZJZ671, east of this location at the bus stop, and then going the bus stop for both Route 83 and Route 61. My presence in the city of Upland, California at the intersection of Foothill Boulevard and Euclid Avenue. The sun is not in alignment with any property in this city on this street, let alone in perfect alignment with me while I sit inside of a car. License 7WMG997. In addition to that, you have what is the entity that while I'm at any of the bus stops that I mentioned before, the entity then keeps the fake sun in alignment with me while I'm on public transportation, moving far away from any vantage point where you could see the sun on the street of Fern Avenue in Ontario. All right, this is the entity stalking with the fake sun over me, which I captured while inside of the car. You can see it through the driver's side window. The vehicle is facing south on Fern Avenue. In addition to that, I'm showing you what is light that is appearing down where my feet are. I'm sitting on the passenger side of the vehicle in the front seat, and you see light that's touching on my legs. This is absolutely impossible light. Not only is the fake sun on the driver's side of the vehicle while the vehicle is facing south, fake sun obviously in conflicting locations as I've used that, but also you have light that's coming through what is the reaching through a window while it's on the driver's side, but somehow it's touching on my right leg that is nearest the passenger door. This is absolutely impossible light. The sun is not coming through the passenger side of the vehicle. The sun is coming through the driver's side of the vehicle. And you have it also specifically touching my legs, where my feet are, where my, where my feet are obviously attached to my legs. But what I mean is it's down at the bottom portion where my shin and my ankles are. You can see it. I took a picture of it because it's light that's just appearing there, and it's absolutely inexplicable. Like I stated already before, I have pointed out to you what are distinct methods of stalking with light, which is entirely demonic. In addition, it's coming through, the fake sun is on the driver's side of the vehicle. There's no sunlight that's going to hit on that side of my body. Also, it's very specific. The entity wants to engage in an ongoing obsession with touching me with directed light. It's a molestation. And that's what that third party's license plate is being documented for. They're a sex offender and they're touching me. But I'm breaking down, not just documenting, I'm breaking down what is demonic. This is the ongoing objective, to keep me covered. That's a molestation with engineered light, and trying to do so in a subtle way. But I'm any way that you're touching me, I'm very much aware of what is this demonic system. And while you look at that subtle method of molestation on my leg, while I'm sitting on the passenger side in the vehicle that's facing south, and the fake sun is in perfect alignment, touching the driver's side of the vehicle. All right, there's no light that's going to appear on the right side of my body, let alone my feet that are down underneath the glove compartment, that area. That's very, very impossible light activity, okay? You're somehow reaching through to the opposite side, bouncing out the car door. I mean, that's what the entity does with its directed light. But you're talking about what's highly implausible, impossible, demonic, 5 HEC 278. In addition to that, I showed you the surroundings, okay? It's parked under a tree. Light's not going to bounce off a tree. It's not going to bounce off a car window. There is no explanation for that light activity, okay? This is the African-American male driving that vehicle, 5 HEC 278, a sex offender stalking with light, directed light off the brick wall, moving across the property. This demon's engaged in surveillance at 711, 7 TQL 294, monitoring the same. Just sitting in the car, stalking in plain sight. These are demons that are pacing around, and they're doing so in vehicles under the fake sun amongst directed light. This is terrorism, and this is the Ontario Police Department, by the way. 5SGF 291, federal prison. A molestation, this white male, 33778N2, touching me with directed light, 6DAA 599. And it is 9:13 a.m. I want to point that out. And what you'll pay attention to with the pattern is that these demons engage in the directed light, that molestation, under the fake sun. This is speaking to their condition. This is speaking to the environment that is unmistakable. It is not required in order for demons to molest you with directed light. It is the conduct of the demon possessed. The entity engages in the same thing at nightfall. That's what I'm documenting, where there's no fake sun over the car at night. These are demons that engage in manifesting light, touching you with light, surrounding you with light. That's what I documented, the third party in the red pickup truck, a psychopath, one that wants to engage in terrorism and engage in what is the conduct that's going to wind up in what is a mental institution, as I documented him. That third party engaged in that over and over and over again, because third parties are acting as one. And so as I get his or her license plate and they're crossing path, that is conduct on behalf of an entity, including the Ontario Police Department, while that minion is crossing path monitoring. It's 9:14 a.m. And by the way, it is Monday, June 6, 2022. Alrighty, 7 TQL 294 is engaged in ongoing surveillance outside of the 7-Eleven. And they're doing so. The fake sun is right over the entrance of the 7-Eleven. This is where these demons are engaging in what is molestation with directed light as well, pacing in and out of the parking lot and around the 7-Eleven. 4 CXM 532. And it's 9:19 a.m. The entity is keeping the fake sun over me at the Veterans Monument, if you recall, at the Upland Public Library at this time. This is not the case when I remain in Ontario, and the demons are engaging in the same exact pattern of stalking with directed light. They are stalking in the path. They are engaging in an ongoing determination to maintain this directed light, this engineered light. This is the mark of demon possession. 7 MKA 112. 8 GNB 672, 7 PPA 052, and stalking with light is the act of a demon-possessed person, first of all, and the demon-possessed engage in this conduct with light. It coexists with whatever it is that they are doing while they are in and around your path. All right, and so stalking with light is a method of, they are literally following. It's not this the fact that they are physically stalking you. They are doing so intentionally with light. That's what is referred to as stalking with light. It's demonic. All right, and it is achieving what is criminal monitoring as well. License 9AAJ219 or 94AJ219, 8FMV159, 6YAB854. There is no sun over the Upland Public Library. This goes without saying. Okay, when I'm at 97394C2, when I am at the Walmart in Upland, California, and the fake sun is over me, over my head at the entrance, as I walk out at 11:36 a.m., therein lies, there is no sun over the Upland Public Library all day long from point of entry. 8EXX749, 7AEA 653. Alrighty, at 9:21 a.m., and you're looking at what is a minion that is crossing path group stalking on the sidewalk, and this is the one engaged in surveillance inside a 7-Eleven on surveillance cameras. License 6CW, I can't really see that one. 832 is the last three characters. It's a black BMW, but I'm missing one of those characters. License 1602418, that's City of Ontario. They're not doing anything but stalking. They're doing so in utility vehicles, the municipality. Many of those affiliated with the municipality are going to federal prison. They're monitoring, and they represent the municipality, the City of Ontario, that is engaging in state surveillance. And they're not doing anything other than stalking. And it's entirely pathetic as I show you the posture of the demon possessed. They're stalking in bathroom stalls, stalking in 7-Eleven, stalking in grocery stores, stalking in Starbucks cafes, stalking in libraries. And that's their ongoing obsessive endeavor. You're just stalking somebody altogether while you're witnessing the person that you're stalking. Me, I'm prosecuting you. And they're sitting around witnessing that while they're stalking me obsessively. Stalking me in a car. That's pathetic. 6X DP926, because that's exactly what they're doing. It is 9:22 a.m. And that goes it's the same for my documentation of the fake sun over the vehicle that I'm inside of. because the entity is keeping the fake sun over me while I get on the bus, Route 83. And all I'm doing is reminding you about that, which is already published. I don't have to say this right now, but I'm using a podcast to reveal the reality of demonic activity. Alrighty, capturing video at 9:26 a.m. The entity is keeping the fake sun over me at 9:25 a.m. when I'm in Pomona, California. Today, the fake sun is over me at 325 West G Street, the same street where the entity is aiming the fake sun inside of the car at 7:49 a.m. And at no time is the light source, is the sun over what is the Upland Public Library, in between the Upland City Hall and the Upland Public Library, over me at the Veterans Monument, as I'm showing you what is that impossible light activity, a distinct method of stalking with light, and the fake sun over my head. License 24490K1. That's the license plate of the third party at 630 North Fern Avenue, molesting, as I captured images of, using their property lights, which is a form for what is that ongoing demon-possessed method of stalking, molesting with light. All right, any means of harassment while I'm on my phone. I took pictures of that last night. Your property lights, even if that was actually just the property, it's not their property lights that's shooting horizontally, fully covering the venues around and the gates around and beyond the car and inside of the car as well. Even if that was the case, it's not. It's demonic light. It's that same directed light. But I want to be clear, any method of touching with light, understand that you're talking about what is a pattern of conduct that's underway. This is not the exercise of any normal use of light, any ordinary presence as an individual, which you have a right to do under the Constitution. It's called freedom of speech. But this is not the case under the federal group stalking and monitoring, under those facts. You're stalking with light, you're molesting with light, and 630 North Fern is a sex offender. Again, 24490K1 is the license plate. And they were molesting intentionally so while I'm sitting in the vehicle, using the lights on their property as the form for what is the ongoing molestation with directed light. And that is also reasonably deduced from what is the pattern of these demons who drive by, just like you saw in the video that I captured at about 9:23 a.m. And a directed light is on the wall of the house. Impossible light. Okay, well, impossible light is also shooting horizontally and flashing all about inside of the car at nightfall, where there is no fake sun, by the way. And more demons are doing the exact same thing you see them doing in my video, driving by. Okay, and they're driving by. That's called crossing path. Demons are not driving by. Demons are crossing path. Demons are group stalking. Demons are pacing around with directed light, which you see on the wall. Now, while I capture that video, you're witnessing impunity. It is the evidence placing the demon possessed into mental institutions and federal prison across this country. That's exactly what they engaged in on video, as I documented it again. 5HZH283, 6XWL088, 7AGW159. It's currently 9:29 a.m. I want to get these license plate. 8DCK100, 6CJD378, 5FYU793, 6ENS846, 6EHX477, 6AWS152, 7ZXL296, 8RFY771, 8KAZ634, 8FRU405, 8TZK953, ACC99J1 paper, 8N73258, 6CDN215. Direct a light across this building where I'm walking through the parking lot. It's all engineered light. This building is a facilitating venue. A demon-possessed optometrist who is monitoring American citizens. The name John S. Rossi, OD. This is P.O.C. License plate 8FDS 719. 8FOS 719. And while that demon drives by, directed light across the opposite side of the street. The house is on the opposite side of the street. 8PSZ 237. This office of John S. Rossi. John S. Rossi is a third party. John S. Rossi is easily documented with his name on this building. Directed light is also on the building. The fake sun is over my head while I'm at this building. All right, and this is also in relevant position where the entity is stalking day and night with the Ontario Police Department. It is currently 9:30 p.m. That's relevant to what is that's directly relevant to what is being in relevant position. License 8TJK581. Alrighty, license 8TJK581 is engaging in the pacing. All right, she's engaging with a stalking and using her vehicle while a demon, which is what she is directed light is appearing on the sidewalk while she's using her vehicle, driving forward, then reversing, making a U-turn to park right in front of the property where I'm at, where the fake sun is over me, and the entity via Southwest Airlines is flying over at the same time. 7SBD236 is crossing path, group stalking with Southwest Airlines. And that is again 8TJK581. That's demonic activity. That's ongoing terrorism. And all of these third parties that I just documented in this same parking lot of John S. Rossi, he's being directly documented. And that's that criminal conduct that's underway at this venue. It doesn't matter what type of venue. You can call it a Methodist church. You can call it a kindergarten school. You can call it a shelter services like Mercy House calls itself, while they're engaging in absolutely satanic conduct. All right. And that's a demon using whose license plate I already recorded. So I want to be clear. They're all inside monitoring with the Southwest Airlines. They're monitoring with the Ontario Police Department. And so they're also listening to that. So you're going to be subject to federal prosecution while they're listening to me document them. That's why they're sounding their horn for no reason. They've been parked in the parking lot. 6MJH957. But that just goes without saying. The minions that are monitoring you, they're also monitoring your documentation, and they know what it is that you are publishing, for example, on the internet. 7GJV821, 6FVT445, in case I didn't get those. Anyway, it's 9:32 a.m. It's P.O.C. again, John Rossi, group stalking, ongoing terrorism at what is an optometrist's office in relevant position to Fern Avenue, where the entity is group stalking day and night, and the fake sun is over my head. 6P92237. License plate BP56765. They are stalking. All right, know exactly where I'm at, maintaining presence and alignment. That's exactly what Southwest Airlines is doing, as well as is the case where they're flying over where the fake sun is at 9 in the morning, which is what I just documented. While minions are crossing path, demons are pacing all around me with directed light that's on a wall, as I showed you at 325 West G Street. Southwest Airlines is nothing but a demon-possessed group stalking company. All right, a company is nothing other than what is an organization on paper. It's made up of people. It is 9:34 a.m. $45060D3. That's a demon driving a UPS vehicle. Directed light while they cross path under the fake sun. And this is located at the John Rossi optometrist office, where they're group stalking in their vehicles along the sidewalk, monitoring with UPS, who's placing American citizens under surveillance engaging in terrorism. 8WBX383. And another minion crossing path doing the same thing. License plate 8THF570, 8GEM577, 5FIJ082. Coming down the alley under the fake sun. They're coming toward me, just maintaining presence in the path as a group stalking is. So driving next to me, driving behind me, sitting in your parked car, waiting for me to arrive. Demons that know exactly where I'm at, maintaining presence around, group stalking. And they're doing so vicariously. The entity that is placing you under surveillance and is stalking you is the state. The state is the stalker. And the state is the stalker via the people as well. Both of whom, both aspects of that same exact entity, are going to federal prison. License 7YBX655. Living in relevant position is no form, and that's what demons rely on. Oh, I live here, so I can safely stop right in front of the targeted individual, all right? Well, that's not their terminology, but that's literally what they're engaging in, and it is direct evidence as to why you will sit in a mental institution. License 14430V2, 8BAB674, 8JXN566, 6MQB365. It is 9:57 a.m. 7NHR777, 5YDY630. That's the use of audible activity as I make a turn, walking in another direction than these demons anticipated. It's called stalking with activity. 7JNG729 3350A, hold on, 33530A3. It's 9:58 a.m. 7V49601. They want to go to federal prison. License plate CB69N19, paper plate. That's a blue Mercedes, like SUV type of vehicle. Just crossing path, just stalking willy-nilly, just in plain sight. Right, you're going to be snatching demons up again and placing them in federal prison. Right, that's how their conduct is in 8WHR 353. That's exactly what their conduct is speaking to, the herds and herds of demons that are engaging in surveillance together. 8WLF 723, 3DSW 585. This is called impunity, 8YVW 036. Now, what shall be the goal of federal legislation, demons, unless they want to sit in a mental ward, unless they want to go to federal prison, unless they want those that criminal record, whereby you're talking about what is extremely limited, and also deportation, all of the implications upon prostitution. This federal legislation is necessarily deterring the demon possessed. I don't care how strong that spirit is over you, unless you want to lose your freedom, unless Satan wants to literally sit behind federal bars. You're talking about what is necessarily deterring this psychopath level conduct, or you lose your freedom, and you are certainly losing whatever it is that you think you have, which demons use as a veil behind which they're terrorizing other people. All right, you're talking about you're a doctor and optometrist. You'll sit in federal prison. License 8SVU 808. This is criminal activity by the demon-possessed population. So you're talking about what is understanding the ordinary criminal. The ordinary criminal is a demon-possessed group stalker engaging in what is public corruption. Okay, and this public corruption is threatening the lives of American citizens, doing so maliciously. And you are in no way impervious to being identified, documented, or prosecuted and punished like any other psychopath. License 7VJZ026, 7EZJ099, 5TAS 343, 6UOH 935. And so while you listen to me document again the herds and herds of demons who are stalking, it's not traffic under the fake sun and in direct light. These are demons who are stalking and molesting with direct light. They are obsessively stalking as they are being documented. That's impunity. Federal legislation is designed to deter that. And so while the entity provides ongoing evidence against them, like the Ontario Police is right now, that's why that police department is absolutely done with. This is very, very sad. Let me get this on video. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, by the way, under the fake sun. Alrighty, I captured the video. That's the Ontario Police providing ongoing evidence against the people, because the evidence against the Ontario Police Department has been complete for a prolonged period. You're talking about even in a day, a pattern of everywhere you're going, following with helicopters, engaging in kidnapping repeatedly. Yeah, that's direct evidence against, but I have more than that against the Ontario Police, who are, to this day, as I documented last night, stalking just like you see them stalking in this parking lot. 8NMG754 is monitoring while I'm capturing on video demons who are pacing around with directed light across the building, monitoring while the Ontario Police flies directly over by helicopter, and monitoring while demons are pacing around under the fake sun. Alrighty, and that minion is just engaging in surveillance while the entity is also patrolling by commercial airline planes. That is, again, the Ontario International Airport is directly engaging in this criminal system as I speak, okay? They're monitoring with the Ontario Police, who are flying over by helicopter. 8NMG754 captured under the fake sun, which is where the Ontario Police fly over me by helicopter. 8NDT006, 8GYG397, 85118J3, 8RSM234. I want to be clear, while I'm capturing this video of the Ontario Police Department stalking by helicopter, if you'll recall my video where the entity's fake sun is directly over the Starbucks, over the drive-thru where the Ontario Police are flying directly over me. The fake sun is directly over the Starbucks at 507 North Euclid Avenue. I'm capturing this video at 10 o'clock in the morning. The fake sun is in a direction south of that Starbucks, which in and of itself is an impossible placement. Anyway, I'm showing you what is the fake sun, but you're paying attention to what is the direct evidence as to what Starbucks, as I've already established, but ongoing evidence. While the entity engages in the pattern of conduct on another day, you're understanding what I've already shown you on the previous day and the previous day before that. Starbucks is monitoring while the Ontario Police Department flies over me. Engaging in demonic pace in 7LRM659, TJTJTJT, Group stalking with the Ontario police at the Ontario Town Square, as I documented days ago, where they were having story time in Ovid Family Community Library, engaged in criminal summoning. That same demon is engaging in what is an ongoing impermissible threat. Group stalking still, engaging in surveillance. This is a loser. This is Satan that's sitting around stalking me, and doing so as I'm documenting again on another day. And Starbucks at 507 North Euclid Avenue, where the sun is not over any Starbucks building, and Ontario, California at 507 North Euclid Avenue, as I document at 9:53, where the entity is doing the same thing, flying over me by helicopter. And I'm capturing this video 7 minutes away from that at 10 o'clock in the morning, and the fake sun is directly over me. I just want to be clear, Starbucks is in relevant position. They're monitoring as well. License plate 7VAU728. And this is license plate 8TZU261 4323OD3. And 4323OD3, this demon has been sitting in their vehicle engaging in surveillance the entire time. He's specifically identified wearing black jeans, a gray t-shirt, a cap, and glasses on his cap with black boots, and he's heavily tattooed on his left arm. He gets out of his vehicle as I begin crossing the street. You'll see the fake sun right over my head. He's crossing path into the fake sun, and he is group stalking with the Ontario police. That's grounds of federal prison. Maintaining surveillance on behalf of the Ontario police, 8VVX413, which is exactly what Starbucks is doing at 507 North Euclid Avenue. All right, that address is where criminal surveillance is underway on behalf of the demons that are the Ontario police, who fly over by helicopter, which is direct evidence against that company, against the entity. All right, license 8EHA970. License plate, the minion that you see on video, 6VGD291, with minor children. All right, who you're going to remove those children from that demon possessed third party, that criminal, in other words, that violent sex offender, engaging in that conduct on video. All right, and then a psychopath as though they're perplexed. This is Satan that knows exactly what you're documenting. The placement of what is an impossible location of the sun over your head is speaking to that. It's direct evidence of their condition, and you're witnessing nothing other than what is a psychopath who is determined to engage in criminal conduct. And unpersuasively so, the form is that they're strangers, and you're hallucinating, you're paranoid, and you're surrounded by evidence. So that's a psychopath. 6SMD663, 5BNU204, 6PNW210. Are you following me again, Satan? Are you following me again? Are you following me again? You're coming over here to follow me again, Satan, with your kids in your car? That's why you're losing possession of them. You are a stalker. That's why you followed me over here. And this is unfortunate because it's direct evidence against you. All right? So it's 10:10 a.m. It's 10:10 a.m. and this is the demon that's on video as he follows me to another location, like he was following me over there, and is talking while he's pursuing me, engaging what is monitoring. With directed light, that's a demon, 6VGD291. That's what that is. He comes and pursues me and then holds his phone out as I'm harassing you, but you're chasing me down. Okay? So I want to be clear, in doing so under the fake sun, with children in the vehicle, equally stalking while he's just driving around, not addressing me, with directed light all across the building. A hostile demon that then comes back is creating more evidence against himself. That's why you're chasing me down. And you're pacing around in the parking lot. So you're driving by, you're thinking about, are you going to come confront me again? Because you're really just an angry demon. All right, he drove around before. That's why I read his license plate moments before. And then he comes by again and holds his phone out. That's not don't be distracted. He's monitoring. And it's a demon that's monitoring. Okay, license plate, because Starbucks is monitoring with that demon. Directed light while he's holding out his phone. Engaged in what is unlawful exercise of that communication device. Because he's monitoring. All right, but you're talking about what is the documentation of that criminal conduct. In every way, you're talking about what is no legitimacy whatsoever while your criminal conduct is being documented. And that's literally what he just engaged in, chasing me down. He just followed me to another location. 6PNW210, 6SMD663, entirely focused on me while those children are in his vehicle. He's placing a threat. He's threatening the lives and the safety of those kids in his car while he is again doing exactly what I captured him doing on video, stalking me. 5BNU204, 37012G3, 8AYL897, 6CJX839, 8RGF218, 7DVR648, 7GJX515, 37012G3. This is the people of the state that are group stalking with the Ontario police, who was patrolling around, flying over me by helicopters. 6ZKF121. License 8YY207, 4CLS385, 5KJM300. Merchants Bookkeeping. There's the name of this venue over here. In relevant position, monitoring with the Ontario Police Department, harassing with the entity, engaged in group stalking with the Ontario Police Department, 5LHP316, 7HWM577, D118, K1, 6TMU158, CC37P59, 8EWF112, 8RGF218, 7WST446, 7RQL784, 8SSM553, 8GZV525, 8RGF218, 8EWF112. Alrighty, and the entity's light sources, again, at 10:14 a.m., nowhere near the Ovid Family Community Library. And I'm only referencing Ovid because I'm in Ontario. This is clearly nowhere near the Upland Public Library. This is clearly nowhere near being along over my head while I'm on the bus at the same exact time, en route to Chino, as I captured this on video. Remember, I get off at Schaefer at 10:19 in the morning, showing you what is not the sun over the window of the Ovid Family Community Library at that time, while it's remaining over me while I'm on the bus, leaving the city of Ontario, en route to Chino. The entity is keeping the fake sun. The entity is stalking by helicopter, that ongoing indication of that P.O.C. under what is necessarily that unnatural environment, and doing so while providing evidence against the people of the state, because that is the full circle use of this evidence. The Ontario Police Department has, as a matter of what is conclusive evidence, engaged in what is entirely corrupt and criminal, and what shall be prosecuted as demonic, which is terrorism. And that's what you hear. License plate. These are maintenance monitoring with the Ontario Police. 7JAU484. As you hear that helicopter activity, they're going to federal prison, 8TZU261, right here at the Starbucks. 7MOJ089, 6EGZ295, 8VRG214, 8VFC189, 22196E3, 8SJT953. And that's exactly what they're doing in a drive-through, indirect lighting under the fake sun, stalking. Okay? That's why you hear that audible activity of the Ontario Police Group stalking. It's 10:15 in the morning. U-Haul, crossing path. AL42908, that's Arizona, 6VIY257. Alrighty, and I want to show directed light. You'll see it on the brick wall where they're sitting in a drive-through, stalking. 8VDJ892, 8LGD314, 8VWP833, 8VDJ8, oh yeah, I read that one. Okay, that's P.O.C. License 4CLS385, CD29A76, paper 8COU311, 8JAK345, N059TO, 2087-3H3, 10:16 a.m., 5KJM300, VMV2395, SH Hart PPIN 7NPY300, 8KUJ802. I want to be clear, this is Starbucks at 507 North Euclid Avenue in Ontario, California, and where you are hearing the audible activity, Ontario Police, that is not going anywhere. Meaning, when they flew over, and I showed you that on video, they're not going anywhere. They're stalking me, obviously, I've shown you that. But they're flying over and out of sight, but they're not going anywhere. They're remaining present. That's why they're flying over again, as you heard, as I'm reading license plates. It's literally the ongoing evidence. While I read their license plate, you hear that helicopter, federal prison, 7NSA067, 6GRE920, 8FNC031, 6VIY257. I think I read that one already. And this is called impunity. These demons are just pacing all around. This is the Ontario Police surrounding you. This is group stalking. 7CEX656. 8CVJ945. Unicare Community Health Center. They're monitoring. Those are demons wearing scrubs in relevant position under a fake sun while the Ontario Police flies over their venue monitoring me. All right. It is 10:17 a.m. and the sun is not over any bus route of Route 83. Perfectly aligned with me through a window of the bus, okay? While I get off at Schaefer and Euclid Avenue in Chino, California at 10:19 a.m. 7XRD111. Nor is it over the window of the Ovid Family Community Library over the staircase. License, see, I read that one, 6PDK705, 8NXL458, 6AYA391, 7JTC914. This is a green BMW. 8VSS 824, 6WYZ 543, 5LFD 638. Directed light across the dumpsters where they're stalking in a drive-thru with Starbucks at 507 North Euclid Avenue. Alrighty, it's currently 10:18 a.m. This is the intersection of in between Laurel and Euclid Avenue on what is E Street. That is P.O.C. And you are listening to, again, that minion that pursues me, follows me to a different location, holds out his phone. And while he is, again, a demon that is engaged, this is literally it's not just asininity. You're talking about you are so surrounded with evidence. The directed light while you're holding your phone out as though I am harassing you while you literally just chase me down to a different location in your vehicle while the Ontario police is stalking me by helicopter and stalking me via you. That demon, remember that, which you hear while he follows me to another location with directed light in operation of a communication device, unlawful, all right, while the entity is providing evidence against him stalking by helicopters. 6ZBA234, 7ADS707. And 10:19 a.m., you see the fake sun right over 7ADS707 where I'm standing, directed light on the dumpster where 6ZBA234 is surrounding me with that demon, third parties, and the fake sun is right over my head. This is East Street and Euclid, all right? So the drive-through is a means of stalking, all right? So in other words, they get their drink and they start driving off the moment that I start moving. This is how demons are pacing. License 88716B3. This is called impunity. They're ordering their Starbucks drink and they're going to federal prison. All right. And they're doing so with a fat Latino male in the backseat with a white t-shirt on. ATZU261 is engaged in surveillance at the Starbucks at 507 North Euclid Avenue. This is the same Starbucks where I have already documented in 2021 the entity keeping the fake sun early in the morning as I was here and kept it in alignment with the Starbucks all day long in the same parking lot where I'm showing you the fake sun after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The entity keeping the fake sun as though it was also setting, but again, doing so in the same pattern. This is being on the east side of the Starbucks, aiming light onto the floor, reaching farther and farther while they're monitoring. Let me show you these demons monitoring with children. And then also engaging what is criminal summoning while you document them. This is, again, Officer Guerrero, who's going to federal prison, that engaged in criminal summoning. 88716B3 is monitoring with a child, doing so under the fake sun at what is 10:21 a.m. This is the same venue of 507 North Euclid Avenue, like I said, like I've already documented. And this is the maintenance of that fake sun that's nowhere near the Other Family Community Library, which is also indicated, the P.O.C, by the stalking conduct of the demon-possessed Ontario police, who are also engaging in what is criminal summoning, as Officer Guerrero engaged in 2021, as I documented here, where the entity in the same exact parking lot where in the morning I'm showing you the fake sun, where I've been here earlier. I've been here early, 8 o'clock in the morning. The other day here at 9:53, fake sun directly over my head at the drive-thru. This is the pattern. You see it over my head at the entrance of the Walmart. You see it over my head at the entrance of the Other Family Community Library. You see it over my head at the entrance of whatever location that I'm at. This is the same venue where the fake sun is present, as I documented last year, while I would remain here all day. And then they engaged in criminal summoning. They're going to federal prison. That's literally written documentation and admission. 8YMM803. And they are still engaging in what is an impermissible threat. This is the prosecution of Starbucks, the company, who you're going to prosecute civilly and criminally, while the Ontario police is literally providing the evidence of the criminal conduct that Starbucks is engaging in, not operating any lawful business whatsoever. License 8ZRE895. It is 10:22 a.m. That is revealing what is demonic conduct that is terrorism that Starbucks is actually engaging in. And this is what you need to know about these companies. This is nothing other than what is Satan calling itself Starbucks. That's what you need to know what's going on in this country. Because like I said, it's not just 507 North Euclid Avenue. It's 706 West Holt Boulevard. It's the Starbucks in Montclair. The Starbucks in Montclair off of at 4490 Holt Boulevard. The Starbucks in 7XTR919. The Starbucks on Vineyard and Holt Boulevard. All right, the entity is engaging in the Starbucks in Pomona, California. Every Starbucks, in other words, that I go to. All right, license 8X84480, stalking with light activity under the fake sun, monitoring with the Ontario Police Department. Engaging in surveillance. Alrighty, that's surveillance in an ice cream truck. Hi. I'm sorry? You can stand still so I can capture your mug. You're going to federal prison. He's stalking in an ice cream truck under the fake sun, stalking with directed light, begins the ignition once I start capturing images, offering me an ice cream while they're monitoring. They've been engaged in surveillance. Understand they're just on the opposite side where I'm at the sidewalk now. He moves his vehicle, which again, this is not only flight of a third party who knows he's being documented, it's audible activity creation. The ice cream truck playing music, the ignition starting, the directed light while they move that vehicle. The fake sun is directly over my head. The Ontario Police Department stalking by helicopter. All right, it is currently 10:23 a.m. 8WLK 646, 6WYL 488. Alrighty, license plate 7WFG 491. Okay, it's not just Starbucks at 507 North Euclid Avenue. The venue's in relevant position. The Open Family Community Library is in relevant position, but what you're paying attention to is the fact that it's a venue, not only by virtue of the fact that it's in relevant position where I am right now, down the street from the library. This is criminal monitoring. Understand that. Relevant positioning. They're all monitoring together. The entity's keeping the fake sun over me, however, at the venue where I'm specifically located. That's why it's not over the Open Family Community Library. Okay, which is in conflict with what is nature. This is how you're identifying a massive system. License plate, it's punctuated, it's identified by what is at a natural environment. City of Ontario, impunity. I don't even need their license plate. 58322Z1, 7SSG286, 8ZYM075, 9ATR265, 6UUV133, 7NQS394, 7NPP 773, 01504S2. And what you'll also recall, while Guerrero, who was engaged in group stalking, harassment and terrorism, intimidation with that demon Medina, I've documented Guerrero so many times, and Medina. I've documented Medina before. 7BXD404, that's the demon that was lying, talking about we knew each other, and that was the first encounter I ever had with him. Now, since he lied, which was his audible activity, talking about, oh, I know you. Well, he knows me because he's a demon-possessed group stalker engaged in surveillance. But we never had an encounter before. Not an encounter that I was aware of. He's encountering me a lot, stalking me. Okay, but we never had an encounter personally. And I brought that up in the video where they were stalking Guerrero and Medina in a vehicle. Directed light was across the Metro 102 apartments while they then drive up next to me saying, hey, Erica, while the fake sun is over me while I'm documenting them at the Ontario City Hall. This is already published, okay, 2021. License 9BFB412. What you're going to pay attention to is the entity where I'm at right now, where the fake sun is remaining over me at the 507 North Euclid Avenue, right over my head while I'm at this venue, where Guerrero, again, arrived pursuant to criminal summoning last year. In 2021, 7JHL783. The fake sun is over my head. This is around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, where at this same exact venue where the fake sun is present right now. Like I told Guerrero, it's not a matter of me not playing, but it's a matter of what is already objective evidence. So you're talking about what is to your own demise. I don't know what sort of reality they're operating in. It's a demonic reality. 9BFB412, 6GNN690, 6SOC080. Engaging what is fictitious exercise of authority is just additional grounds where the Ontario Police Department is providing you an understanding of the ways in which legislation and prosecution is necessarily underway with regard to prosecuting and disbanding these law enforcement agencies. And so that is also revealing their secrets, which they are a bunch of demons that are working for law enforcement across this country, placing American citizens under surveillance. 8K49937. And at 507 North Euclid Avenue, the Starbucks in Ontario, California, where I am right now, where the Ontario Police is group stalking, terrorizing, stalking with helicopter. Well, I hope you're having fun. If you're not natural-born citizens, you're going to be deported out of this country. They're engaging in surveillance, group stalking, sitting on the sidewalk in operation of their communication devices, stalking in plain sight, 8K49337, P.O.C. Monitoring with these demons who are pacing on the streets, 7KXR910, 8AQY888, 5FSW090, 58900E1. And what you're listening to me talk to them about while they're stalking, they can look whatever direction they want. The evidence of the fact that you're demons and you're stalking and you're doing so with the demon-possessed police department, grounds of federal prison. All right. They are monitoring, and that's impunity while they are stalking in plain sight like this. What they're doing is not only is it criminal, it's no longer covert. All right. This is public corruption that's been exposed. They're monitoring documentation. An American citizen in the process of documentation. While you're not deterred by that, you'll lose your freedom. That's already grounds of federal prison, group stalking with the law enforcement agencies. You're sitting around stalking somebody, threatening their life while you are being documented, and you know it. You're going to federal prison for even longer. And if you're not natural born citizens, 8K49337, you're being deported out of this country. Okay? So they're sitting stoic inside of that vehicle under the fake sun. While the Ontario Police Department has been patrolling over me, they're just engaging in surveillance parked on the sidewalk around the perimeter, okay? Where those demons are following me with children in the back of their car, stalking me, talking about holding their communication device with directed light, and engaging in what is harassment, because that's a hostile demon being documented. While you chase me down to another location. That's what they're engaging in. They're monitoring together. 88QY888. And the Ontario Police literally is flying over me by helicopter. You're talking about what is a delusional psychopath. That is Satan. Satan that is in the custody of children. You're going to remove that threat that they pose. 58900E1. License 4WPU067. Like I was stating, you have what is the exercise of fictitious authority by psychopaths such as Guerrero and Medina, documented with directed light. Those are demons. Crossing path, as I documented at the Ontario City Hall, engaging criminal summoning at the same Starbucks where I'm present in the morning. Well, they arrived pursuant to the same, it was daylight savings time, in 2021, late summer last year, and they're pursuant to, again, criminal summoning, relying on the people of the state who are harassing while you're documenting their criminal activity, exercising fictitious authority under the law while you're engaged in criminal surveillance, and doing so in concert with the people of the state. And doing so, what is that direct evidence? The fake sun is over me at the same venue, the Starbucks at 507 North Euclid Avenue. So let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. The sun is not ever going to be present over the same address in the morning like it is now. 8 VFC 189 is crossing path, engaging in surveillance outside of that Starbucks at 507 North Euclid Avenue in Ontario, California, and be present again hours from now. By the way, where I'm inside I've also provided ongoing documentation of where I'm nowhere near 507 North Euclid Avenue since then. I'm in Fontana. I'm in Pomona. All right. I'm in coming from Montclair. Actually, I am in Montclair at the Starbucks. I've documented that as well. I'm in Chino, California, but I have documented the entity keeping a fake sun over me while Guerrero is present pursuant to criminal summoning. Guerrero wasn't by himself. This is already published documentation. They're going to federal prison, and they are subject to ongoing further prosecution with regard to documentation and the policy that I have with regard to how you are specifically contemplating the criminal conduct of this entity that's monitoring, okay? Doing so with the Ontario Police crossing path right now. So who are you going to prosecute? The third parties engaged in ongoing surveillance under what is the fake sun. Alrighty, the third parties, this Latino couple engaging in surveillance, they're monitoring with the Ontario Police. All right, just sitting there monitoring, group stalking with the Ontario Police who are listening to me document them, who are stalking by helicopter. All right, there's nothing separate or distinct while you're crossing path in a motorcycle. You're heavily stalking by helicopters and driving by in your units, in your SUVs, stalking. While you're listening to me publish your criminal activity on the worldwide internet. That's what that demon is doing on a motorcycle at 10:31 a.m. It's 7SSZ229. Alrighty, license 7WMC540, 7SSZ229, 5XUA 298, license 58900E1. And I want to make sure I document this surveillance of this third party. You see them on video. I want to make sure that I have included, I already documented them, but I want to get it again. 8K49337, engaging in surveillance with the Ontario Police who's stalking by helicopter. 88QY888, 4MTD552, 7HDO154, T252YO, 8NXU724, 8KWD444, 8TDP 894 or 984, excuse me. Alrighty, capturing what is stalking. This minion is sitting in the back seat of a vehicle, stalking, engaging in surveillance. I'm going to make sure I read that license plate again. Hold on. 8ETV852, BF67Z01. That's paper. And it's currently 10:39 a.m. License 4SUM931, 8HBM193, 6ZBC 829 87759V2 1234599 8EVF 395 BN57VU2 paper 7BKM 024. Capturing video at 10:33 a.m. approximately. And this is actually video that I'm continuing from my other phone that I had at 6GRK346, which I started at 10:31 a.m. And I'm speaking to, again, my presence in Chino, California at that same time at the McDonald's on Central Avenue in Chino, California. And then that phone died, so I continued video moments later at the same location in order to continue my analysis of what you're looking at. The fake sun over my head. First of all, this is speaking to that analysis of what would be a mutual zenith, an impossible occurrence. While I'm in Chino, California at the McDonald's on Central Avenue at the same time, and I am in Ontario on Euclid Avenue in front of, and I'm showing you what is also, so that's that mutual zenith. It's over my head at the same time in Chino, California at McDonald's, and also while I'm in Ontario, California. That's impossible. 7062 OB1. 8ZVM760. Also, I'm also standing facing, showing you what is the U.S. Bank at 333 North Euclid Avenue in Ontario, California, where after 5 o'clock in the afternoon, after getting off of Route 83, Omnitrans, 7ZXL296, state surveillance and terrorism underway via the company name of Omnitrans. This is a company engaging in what is nothing other than a guise under which criminal activity by the state of California is underway. And that's also seen through what are the minions that are operating commercial airline planes, which you see in video. Southwest Airlines, Alaska Airlines are crossing path, and they do so with frequency, high frequency. In this video, you have these one plane after another. That's demonic pacing. And they're doing so under what is the fake sun that's at the same location as I captured at that U.S. Bank, which I'm showing you at 333 North Euclid Avenue. The fake sun is over that U.S. Bank, over my head as I stand at that U.S. Bank. All right, that's the maintenance of a light source, which is not possibly the sun. 10:34 in the morning versus after 5 o'clock in the afternoon where I'm at that same location. That's impossible. 7UBC 694. All right, and that's what you witness as you look at those two videos. In that video that I captured, again, this is days ago, where I'm standing on the same street and getting off of Route 83 Omnitrans, and I'm standing in front of that U.S. Bank. That U.S. Bank is what you're looking at in my video, facing that venue where after getting off of Route 83 in the afternoon, the light source, an impossible occurrence on the same side of the street, central over my head at that same exact property. And so this is what I pointed out in video, and you're also looking at who is stalking as a matter of what is the group stalking system. It's revealed as you're looking and witnessing that environment. So now you're understanding this is the setting, and you're looking at what the demons are doing in that environment. And those demons are flying Alaska Airline planes. They're flying Southwest Airline planes. 6TNR 742. They're the Ontario Police stalking in helicopters. All right, they're doing so while I'm reading their license plates, engaging in surveillance, sitting in their vehicles, maintaining presence in the path. License 1120825, that's Ontario Montclair School District. 8RTM 629. 4DQD 347. It's providing ongoing context as to what is underway while I'm in a different city, such as Chino, California, and you have what is a light source that's not possibly the sun. So you're understanding what I've already documented. You're understanding what is not the sun that's over the Upland Public Library. So you're understanding what I've already documented. The maintenance of a specific setting, which is demonic, while you're subject to that criminal system. 7XHC 905 1589921. And it's currently 10:43 a.m. 7XPX 861, group stalking with Brink Security, who's in the parking lot of the Wells Fargo, where I'm showing you in the afternoon. The fake sun is over my head. That's an impossible presence of the light source, where Brink Security is directly documented. The fake sun is over my head. I documented that the other day. And then I got on Route 83 and I went to Chino, California. The fake sun is over my head in the morning right now. 5U13068 40842L3. 8HIL664, 6BAA212, 8YHH836, 7HVK620, 4HIY875, 7SHN394. You're talking about what is federal prison, as you're documenting the entity engaging in what is obsessive stalking as an entity on behalf of the demon-possessed Ontario Police Department, CBNEJ09-8LAS627, who are also stalking as a matter of audio. You can hear it on my podcast, and you saw it in video, which I captured today again. And I have years of documentation of what is unmistakable evidence. The Ontario Police Department engaging in what is stalking and terrorism. Stalking in a helicopter is terrorism on its face. But it's even more, it's beyond that. The substance of their conduct, these are demons who are engaging in what is group stalking, all right, criminal surveillance and group stalking, and those are demons who are pursuing you, engaging in demonic activity while they fly in circles over you. You're demonstrating demon possession, that's terrorism. Being weird as an entity is terrorism. Okay, stalking as an entity is terrorism. Stalking with directed light as an entity, stalking with directed light even as one person. Say you have one demon in front of you just spitting out light all over the place, okay? Just flinging directed light all over, that's terrorism. But the entity is doing that all together. That's terrorism. License plate 5NER069. License 8FGA174. License Brick Security as group stalking vehicle 131450. Just standing in the parking lot, irrelevant position while they're using the Brink Security truck as a method of light activity. It is, and doing so under the fake sun. It is 10:45 a.m. Let me get this license plate of Brink Security. Brink Security is the same entity engaging in what is kidnapping. License plate 2933414 is the license plate of Brink's. Monitoring. Stalking with light activity. This is demonic activity underway by a company. All right, and this is again that company that stripped down of that system. This is not the exercise of any First Amendment rights to operate a company, to create a company, form a company, and engage in business in some capitalistic society. This is the use of a company name, the guise under which criminal activity is underway, and you don't have a right to exist for that criminal purpose. 8RBS 657, license 8WND 701, and this is Brink Security's intent to engage in terrorism with knowledge of the fact that it's being documented. 49926L2, 5 P.O.C 734. You are prosecuting the people of the state using such methods, the highest level of malice, as I'm documenting this entity. You are civilly and criminally prosecuting. And Ontario Montclair School District is acting with Brink Security. They're maintaining presence at the intersection of, this is D Street and Lemon, just creating a makeshift bus stop. They stopped their bus. I read the license plate, and they turned the corner onto D Street. They've been remaining in relevant position with the hazard lights on. They're stalking in the path with light activity that's demonic with Brink Security, who's at the ATM drive-through area. And doing so in the morning, where I'm capturing that same exact iteration because Brink Security is relying upon the use of their trade for purposes of stalking. All right, so they're doing the same thing under the fake sun, which is at that same exact location hours from now in the afternoon. All right, so that's speaking to what is demonic. And it's also mutually exclusive to Brink Security being documented at the 7-Eleven in Upland, California under the fake sun. And that demon is captured in close, he's going to federal prison. But like I said, this is the entity that's stalking. He's also demonstrating his demon possession, presence under that fake sun, and also directed light while they're crossing path, terrorizing me. Terrorism under the name of Brink Security. 6XTL766. 8BQV 891 70WK 914 74459W1. This is Ovid Family Community Library. Stephen and Greg and Mickey, Natasha. The other one identifying herself as Natasha as well. 5RFM 502. These minions inside of the Ovid Family Community Library are engaging in monitoring with the Ontario Police Department, which is also a matter of objective evidence. They're violent sex offenders creeping into the bathroom, maintaining presence and relevant position in the male's restroom, monitoring together. License 6YWY573. Demons engaging in that conduct, which is highly demented and predatory, all right, terrorizing. And then they've also engaged in what is the grounds of federal prison in and of itself, criminal summoning, because you're a bunch of angry demons who are mad because what is your operation has been found out. And then you engage in what is criminal defamation as well upon criminal summoning. Additional grounds of federal prison. All right, 7NNA993, 8VXM329, 7DKE455, 6SCJ781, 8PQZ483, 8ULK564. And in addition to that, they're doing so while the Ontario Police, whom they engage in summoning on an ongoing pattern, these demons who are stalking by helicopter are the same demons that they are again summoning to further monitor and terrorize while they're engaged in the P.O.C. together. That is literally the evidence. The Ontario Police is group stalking, and then they're summoning the Ontario Police when they're engaging in what is ongoing terrorism, hostile as you document. That's literally what you have as evidence. That's 6PKG255. And that's understanding what is the system, the textbook method of facilitation. You're summoning the demons who are heavily documented stalking by helicopter. 8JYY579, I believe. That's what the Ovid Family Community Library is engaged in. Literally, it's a matter of published documentation for a term of years. Yes, they're going to federal prison. It's currently 10:49 a.m. and the fake sun is directly over the Ovid Family Community Library. Upon my arrival, moving as I move, okay? These are demons who are pacing in relevant position. That's what you're doing under the fake sun. They're showing their condition. They're pacing 76249J1. This is a demon-possessed population. License plate 4PHJ 754. And it is 10:50 a.m. P.O.C. All right, capturing still images of the same location where I stood yesterday after exit of the Ovid Family Community Library after 4 p.m. And the fake sun is again in that position over the top of my head. It's over the same side of the Ovid Family Community Library where I stood, where the entity kept the fake sun after 6 p.m. and the entity acting via essentially the Ontario International Airport using commercial airline planes to engage in ongoing surveillance, flying over the 280 Northumberland Apartments and doing so under that fake sun. The fake sun has crossed the street, remaining over me as I cross the street from on the opposite side. That it would be the east side of the Euclid Avenue, where the fake sun remained yesterday, as I documented via podcasting and still images. It is 11:21. Oh, excuse me, it's 11:11 a.m. And I captured those images, and I'm now entering the Ovid Family Community Library. This is P.O.C. Good morning. You guys have any face masks? Thank you. Thank you very much. Morning, Carlos. Good morning. Good morning. Morning, J Fed.
Good morning. Or you can get a temporary one. Have one before.
Oh, hi. Do you mind if I get some Clorox wipes? Actually, just one. I just want to wipe off the desk. Thank you, ma'am. This is patrolling in and out, rolling position. Oh, your son is cute. How old is he? How old is he? ¿Cuántos años tiene?
We have 18 months.
Oh.
Too long.
It's 11:56 a.m. Excuse me. That's patrolling in directed light in the bathroom, group stalking while monitoring documentation, demon following right in front of me to maintain presence, audible activity. That's this minion that's using the toilet in relevant position. This is the Ontario Police that's stalking in the bathroom. This is the state of California, Alaska Airlines, Southwest Airlines. This is the entity stalking with directed light inside of the bathroom. Doing so with children is what you're listening to. This is a sex offender. It's 11:57 a.m. Ovid Family Community Library. The minions that are, again, Carlos, violent sex offenders, J-Fed, Abigail, who are in relevant position monitoring while demons are, because that's their condition. This is terrorism inside of a bathroom. This is monitoring inside of a bathroom while that violent sex offender is monitoring documentation. It's 11:58 a.m. at Ovid Family Community Library. 12:04 p.m. Demons patrolling in the bathroom. This is activity creation. Documented with simultaneity to exiting the bathroom stall, operation of communication device, and different demon doing the exact same thing. Jennifer? Oh, okay. Hi, Jennifer. How's it going, J-Fed? You have any Clorox? You don't think so?
No, but did you want some paper towels and hand sanitizer? I think that would do the trick.
I'll try the other desk.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
I'm gonna check. While you're checking down, I'm gonna check in here. Okay.
Okay. Well, they should have. Well, actually, I know that they have some. Abigail gave me one earlier. Thank you. All right, these are demons that are pacing in a bathroom. Okay, the same demons that are molesting with directed light are inside of a building, stalking in bathroom stalls. Hi, Nikki. Can I get some Clorox wipes, please? They're right here.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I was looking everywhere else.
It's only because I got one earlier, I think.
Okay.
Let me take 3.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
And also understand, I think I took the left. Also understand the entity's pattern of conduct while monitoring documentation. This is the stalker that follows you into the bathroom. This is predatory. It is exceedingly sexually violent, predatory conduct. Aware of the fact that they're being documented. This is the Ontario Police that is stalking by helicopter, entering into the bathroom, and doing so for purposes of criminal monitoring and terrorism, which is group stalking. Demons maintaining audible activity, and this is the entity that engaged in this conduct with the intent to harass as well. They're all pacing around in engineered light. I've shown you the demonic environment. It's not sunlight remaining on the staircase over the elevator. Obviously, when I'm far away from this venue, the sun is not over the building of the Ovid Family Community Library. That is the same directed light you saw on the apartment building of 325 West G Street, filling the venue of the Ovid Family Community Library, where that is the identification of the demon possessed who are stalking in a bathroom. All right, that's the P.O.C. And you have one demon after another just patrolling in and out. That is the P.O.C. It's currently 12:09 p.m. This is federal stalking by an entity in the bathroom. Every name that you hear me identify, these are the minions engaging in what is sexual violence. The sex offender that's engaging in group stalking on behalf of the state. This is a prosecution of what is a public entity as a perpetual sex offender. Understand with regard to the legislation for what is group stalking by a government placing you under surveillance. The sex offender following you into bathrooms, into private spaces. And this is the bathroom where the government has no business, and the government is remaining via, monitoring you via the people of the state who are of a specific condition as well, which is also legally relevant, demon possession. It's 12:09 p.m. It's 7:23 p.m. This is patrolling in the bathroom. Noise creation. These are demons. And this is Ovid Family Community Library. Stalking in the private space. 7:23 p.m. This is the perpetual sex offender, and this is at Ovid Family Community Library, P.O.C. Crossing path. Indirected light. Activity creation and pacing and direct light. This is ongoing pacing and also activity creation. It's 7:26 p.m. This is stalking. These are demons who are stalking in a bathroom. This is the state of California, the people of the state. It's P.O.C. Sorry, I forgot your name. What is your name?
Brenda.
Brenda? Okay, thanks, Brenda. Brenda's sitting at the circulation desk near the administration office where those demons pace in and out, using the door closure as a method of stalking with activity. She's a sex offender monitoring in the bathroom while my panties are down as well. And so is the Securitas, the African-American female. She is engaging in bathroom monitoring as well in relevant position, pacing around inside of the library, group stalking on behalf of the state of California in concert with the Ontario Police. And so is Jessica and Natasha, sitting at the circulation desk, group stalking in the bathroom while my panties are down, monitoring. These are the sex offenders at the Ovid Family Community Library. It is 7:28 p.m. This is P.O.C. Alrighty, I want to document this is Jennifer, who is monitoring with the demon who is inside of the bathroom, manning the path with the again, Securitas. the documented third party engaging what is monitoring in the bathroom with Jennifer down here on the first floor at the basement level. And this is P.O.C. It's 8:55 p.m. and the entity is engaging in that stalking in the bathroom. And I want to be clear, they're pacing around an engineered light, maintaining presence in the path. That's audible activity creation. These demons are in directed light. It is P.O.C. You're Jennifer, right? No, what's your name? I thought I met you earlier. I thought you were Jennifer at the circulation desk. Oh, I'm sorry. What's your name? I can't hear you over the... Oh, Kathy is your name? Oh, okay. Alrighty. Nice to meet you, Kathy. I never met you before. I have to wait. Somebody's taking up the bathroom stall. That's Natasha. That's audible activity creation. And this is harassment by an entity that's monitoring documentation. So these are demons that's taking up the bathroom stall that they are monitoring me inside of while they are maintaining presence and maintaining noise. That's Natasha with the long brunette hair. It's 8:56 p.m. Do you work here?
No.
Oh, you know the library's about to close. It's actually closed at 9.
What can you do?
Oh, you look like you're just cold chilling in the bathroom.
No,
Alrighty,
in the
yeah.
restroom, you know.
Yeah, have a good night. You got hair all over the sink. Nothing.
Oh, me?
This is maintenance of presence.
Me? Sorry.
No, you're good. Just chilling in the bathroom, engaged in straight surveillance in the bathroom. The library closes at 9 p.m. This is maintenance of presence in the path down to the very last minute. This is illustrating that ongoing obsessive endeavor, which is also surrounding what is that sex offender. That's how you're witnessing it. Sex offender chasing into bathrooms, remaining in bathrooms. That's why I intentionally ask. I already know that she doesn't. I'm asking, do you, because she's just parlaying in the bathroom as though it's not going to close and that she doesn't have to leave. And this is intentional presence. This is a meaning that occupies the stall that I use because I have my luggage carrier, and they're stalking. This is intentional for presence of crossing a path, even if they were in the other stall, but that's intentional. And then you have what is maintenance by Kathy. That's what she states her name is. And you have who is this? Hi, I don't think I've ever met you before. Sophia, have a good night. Bye. And Securitas in relevant position monitoring while panties are down as well. So you have the maintenance of presence in the bathroom down to the last minute, just standing there oblivious to the fact that the library is closing. And this is maintenance of the path. That's intentional. That's the stalking conduct and literally just surveillance. I mean, it's 8:59 p.m. and that's why I'm asking that. Also because I want you to hear the presence of a demon. Everyone's condition is already known. Everyone's purpose around me is already known. And so I'm speaking to, this is stalking wherever it is that I'm at, and it's legally relevant. This is stalking in a bathroom, and that is the sex offender that engages in that. And that is a sex offender that is exceedingly violent with regard to that predatory conduct of stalking in a bathroom, following into a bathroom, remaining in the bathroom, and doing so on behalf of a state. Okay, demons engaging in what is audible activity creation with simultaneity to the ongoing bodily functions. Okay, stalking with audible activity, keeping directed light, that's molesting my body. It's abnormal light because you're obsessed, engaging in this stalking with this directed light conduct, which is a matter of documentation as well. While you're in that cartoon environment, a fake sun remains over the library all day long. Even when I have documentation of my remaining in the city of Fontana all day long. 4NEA 875, bathroom monitoring. So the entity is engaging in what is surveillance, just standing in the bathroom while Kathy is standing outside of the bathroom. And the Securitas, she represents the company. And this is the third party engaging in criminal summoning, as I documented with the Ontario Police Department and Sean Thrasher. And she's pacing on video. I'm capturing this. She's pacing in the computer lab. They all have triple shadows. This sex offender is engaged in ongoing criminal monitoring on an ongoing basis. Okay, 4MZL145, bathroom monitoring. Engaging in surveillance at 280 North Lemon Apartments and monitoring me while my panties are down. This appears to be a Latino male sitting on the sidewalk outside of 280 North Lemon Apartments. It's currently 9:04 p.m. And so you understand, it's a circuit. It's a network of communication devices while they are monitoring. And it's an ongoing population of cockroaches. That's what the demon-possessed are. While I'm showing you video today of the fake sun over my head, over the top of my head in its zenith at 2:39 p.m. because that's what I captured today. Pay attention to my YouTube channel. Actually, pay attention to my website, thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com. YouTube is a third party. YouTube is a platform that is used for purposes of publishing documentation, but my documentation is published in its entirety on my website, which I control. All right, so I just want to be clear. YouTube also does not contain images. It only has video documentation, and it does not have my podcast either. So the patternofconduct.wordpress.com is where you're getting the totality of that documentation. And so, and the totality of the documentation is necessary. I take as many pictures showing you the fake sun over me at a specific time as I do video. All right, and I've been doing this for years. So I could, like I did, taking pictures when I'm in Pomona, California. Last week, the fake sun is directly over my head in the parking lot of the Rio Rancho Town Center in Pomona, California. That's LA, that's Los Angeles County. And the fake sun is remaining over me while I'm at the Ovid Family Community Library at the same time for the duration of the day, or following me, remaining over my head as I remain inside of the Ovid Family Community Library. This is capturing the impossible. All right, and so those pictures are just as compelling. All right, it's just as illustrative of showing what's the fake sun. But anyway, I captured video at 2:39 p.m. and the entity is keeping its fake sun. All right, this is the demon stalker with liars, so pathetic. 8HEV033 monitoring me while my panties are down. They're sex offender and they're stalking with light at the Metro 102 apartments, who are also sex offenders engaging in criminal monitoring while my panties are down. Engaged in ongoing surveillance all day long. 8FMR814. The same. And at 2:39 p.m., the fake sun is in its central presence, in its zenith, directly over the top of my head as I stand at the very entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library. And it's in the same position as I point out in video, which you can see in pictures it's in the same position, in that same location, that same zenith placement over my head as it was yesterday as I exited the library at 4 p.m. In addition to that, at the time, at being at 2:39 p.m., it is impossible also that will be the sun when I'm in Upland, California, on the property of the Upland Police Department. All right, which I documented when I went there to retrieve my property that the Upland Police Department illegally seized. All right, when they engaged in what was kidnapping me, exercising fictitious authority under the law while they're engaging in criminal surveillance, violent sex offenders stalking and monitoring in a bathroom, and demons who are hostile to being exposed as such, hostile to being documented and prosecuted. And that's the conduct that the entity engages in. Criminal summoning is facilitation by the people of the state who are engaging in that criminal stalking and surveillance system in concert and on behalf of the demon-possessed law enforcement agency, that is the Upland Police Department, and then they are engaging in what is the waging of false allegations. License 8AJJ810. Monitoring them while my panties are down. And so as I captured that video while I went to the Upland Police Department, I am today remaining at the Ovid Family Community Library. And if you'll recall, I came from the Ovid Family Community Library the day that I went to the Upland Police Department. I left the Ovid Family Community Library at 1:26 p.m. I got on the Route 83 bus, which I documented in images and in video. And I went to Route 66 and got on that bus, which I documented. And then I arrived at the Upland Police Department, all right? And the entity is keeping the fake sun over me the entirety of that time, but yet today I remain inside of the Ovid Family Community Library, where they are indeed monitoring me while my panties are down, and doing so for the duration of the day up until this very last moment. And you have a demon engaging in what is surveillance in a bathroom, waiting until closing time, because that's how desperate they are. Excuse me. The entity is stalking by helicopter. That's why they're walking on the sidewalk right now. They're in directed light. I've already shown you the light activity on the grounds of the museum. This is the Ontario Police Department group stalking while they're pushing a stroller. The Ontario Police Department is stalking by helicopter. All right, it is 9:08 p.m. All right, I just wanted to get those images real quick. Capturing another demon, which you're listening to, is a demon that's creating noise in directed light. So I have multiple shadows. These are the demons of the Ontario Police Department. That's what you need to understand. I'm capturing the demon possessed who are group stalking in concert with the Ontario Police. The Ontario Police are demons who wear badges, who drive around in police vehicles, who fly around and over me and follow me around in helicopters, and they're demons. And they're doing so, again, as I was crossing the street. So I'm capturing images of the people of the state who are group stalking at the museum while I'm walking to that venue in directed light, and the Ontario Police is still engaging in what is the ongoing provision of evidence. That's going to place a lot of people in federal prison and in mental institutions. But not only that, the Ontario Police Department itself is completely done. And by done, I mean that prosecution is short. It is a slam dunk prosecution. What also needs to be understood is that the Ontario Police Department, the documentation of the Ontario Police Department, and that which is necessary in order to prosecute the Ontario Police Department, it is understanding what is the template. The demon-possessed agency, that is the Ontario Police, is doing nothing other than what the law enforcement agencies across this country are doing. That's exactly what the Ontario Police Department is telling you. This is what the entity is doing across this country. Okay, this is what the government is doing. And not only am I revealing to you their criminal conduct, it is terrorism on its face to stalk somebody by helicopter. That's not a question. That's not even a reasonable question. This is established by evidence. So you're talking about what is terrorism on its face by the police. You're talking about what is also terrorism. This is what needs to be recognized because it's also a matter of objective evidence. These are demons. This is demonic activity. While they are stalking, and it's terrorism on its face, and it's also terrorism in substance. Right, and it is speaking to what the states are engaging in across this country. And so I just happen to be in California, and this is nothing new. But you have what is a very serious issue with regard to this population, and the Ontario Police that are stalking by helicopter. As I'm documenting these third parties, that's what the entity do. It was flying at the intersection of Holt and Euclid Avenue. In relevant position. It was west of me, and I just continued speaking, but I did capture pictures of those third parties. And it's very unfortunate what the Ontario Police Department has done to itself, but it's providence, because this needs to be known. And so that's why you have what is that stupidity, right? Because anybody else will say, man, if I was, I would probably try to not make it seem truthful what somebody is alleging against me. especially if it's something that I don't want to be known, especially if it's something that I don't want to sit in federal prison for a very long time for. But yeah, you're dealing with Satan. That's speaking to what is the threat. That's a threat. It's not just a threat on the face because you got a bunch of criminals that are corrupted officials. It's also a threat because this is demonic activity. These are animals, lawless, disregard for the law, for the rights of others. How long has this been the case? How many others have been subject to this animalistic type of attitude toward a human being? That's what's shown when you're looking at a demon-possessed officer, police department, stalking in a helicopter, which is a matter of evidence over a term of years, by the way. It's not just in 2022 where I'm capturing 50 videos or so. 50 videos or more, actually. I mean, I have a ton of videos this year. I've been documenting the Ontario Police Department has been stalking me for years. This is the same Ontario Police Department. Reference my documentation that stole my car. They stole my vehicle while they have been stalking me for years. They stole my vehicle, exercising fictitious authority under the law. You're stalking me, you're monitoring, you're engaging in what is monitoring with the people of the state who towed my car, while you and the people of the state together have been criminally monitoring and stalking, and you're hostile because you knew I was documenting it. They did that in 2019. They stole my car. And so you have what are the demon-possessed who are still, and let me be clear, even that is providence. If I wasn't sleeping in my car, if I was sleeping in my car, you're talking about what is less exposure. Less exposure to, I was still documenting heavily when I was in my car, but you're talking about what is more exposure out amongst these cockroaches. I mean, every time you sound your helicopter and fly over me, it's right there. I mean, my cell phone it's my trigger finger, and I get that. I get all of it, and I have gotten all of it. Actually, I take that back. I have so much documentation. There are times where I don't even gather it because Satan is pathetic. Satan, let me understand what the purpose of this conduct is. It's intended to inflict psychological torment. It's intended to incite fear. It's intended to terrorize, all right, to traumatize you. This is not what's going on. This is not what the case is. I have an agenda to prosecute, and they're not just done with law enforcement. They're not just going to federal prison. They're not getting out. They're not getting out of federal prison. You will never have anything to do with anything remotely related to anything, enforcement of anything. You can't enforce anything. Okay. You cannot enforce nothing. And that's my goal, because this is speaking to what is, animalistic conduct. These are not normal people. This is Satan, and you're understanding what Satan is doing amongst the people. Those people are in positions that they have no business being in. That's what I've been exposing to you. In addition to guess what? Not only this is why they don't have any business in this position. Let me tell you the reason why they're engaging in such animalistic conduct. It's not just that they're gross criminals. This is satanic. These are demons. These are people who need assistance that no pill can handle. You're not going to be able to diagnose this with some minion that calls himself a medical professional. That's not what's going on. Let me be clear. The condition that I'm revealing to you, which is a matter of objective evidence, is that which nobody would ever be able to identify. You're not able to diagnose, if you will, through some medical chart, demon possession, which is the root of what your problem is, of what is wrong with you, of the threat that you pose to the public. Okay? And that's why you're going to be removed from that. That's why you're neutralizing the threat posed based on that condition, which is it is a surefire formula to identify it. And when you have that, you also know the criminal conduct, and you are also speaking to what is a baseline default prosecution. Okay. So the entity is engaging in this conduct and is engaged in surveillance through this third party who's loitering at the sink in the bathroom, because that's how bad the Ontario police need to be in the bathroom next to me while I pull my panties down. That's a sex offender. And how do you know that that's the case? Because they're stalking right now at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. And they know very well all of the video documentation that is already accumulated while they're stalking day and night, including this morning under the fake sun at the Starbucks at 507 North Euclid Avenue. They are at another place that's called Following, and doing so in conformity to a pattern in helicopters in a specific environment during the day under the fake sun in directed light, and directed light remains at nightfall as well. That's what the Ontario Police Department is doing right now. Alrighty, and that is a matter of evidence. So my documentation for my video documentation is already published, and my credibility is also established. I don't have to make up anything. The Ontario Police Department, their obsession is born of their demon possession. Satan is obsessed Okay, and that's what is wrong with the Ontario Police. Satan is obsessed, and Satan literally controls the Ontario Police Department. They are literally operating off of what is very, very demented mind state. They have a demented mind state. And it is fixed on Erica Lorraine Spencer, and that's no exaggeration. That's nothing flattering either. It is the reality, and that's what I continue to tell Satan as it is going about engaging in a charade, as though they are in any way legitimate, and they're not, and they know it, and they also know that it's been exposed. So what is it that you are aiming for when you are continuously providing evidence, not just against yourself, but against those who you're engaging in criminal conduct together with? You're talking about those who need to be placed in facilities where they were no longer permitted to pose that threat. That's what the Ontario Police Department is necessarily subject to. All right. It's not just terrorism on its face. You're not dealing with ordinary criminals. I want to make sure I hone in on the fact that you remain cognizant of what their condition is. Engineered light, directed light, stalking and directed light. They're demons. They're demons engaging in what is very highly demented conduct. Stalking in a helicopter is just the iceberg. That's already demented in itself. That's terrorism on its face. Okay, they're not just mean, okay, they're demon possessed. That is grounds of disqualification from being in a position such as law enforcement. It's not just disqualification, your criminal conduct is disqualification. The Ontario Police Department engaging in stealing my vehicle, engaging in then what is harassment and ongoing terrorism while you stole my car. You stole everything that was inside of my car, things that you cannot quantify, you cannot replace it. There's no dollar amount that you can place on that. Okay, you stole my law degree, my Juris Doctor. That you stole that antique. You can never replace that. That's just an example. Okay, things that hold sentimental value, something that I worked hard for. Now, don't get me wrong, that's neither here nor there, but I'm just speaking to what is a legal argument that while the entity is engaging in this conduct of a psychopath, they are engaging in what is harassing me, stalking me where it is that I sleep, anywhere that I sleep, and then arriving and then speaking to what is a complaint as to where it is I'm sleeping. They stole my vehicle. They were stalking me in my apartment where I lived in Upland, California. They've been stalking me wherever it is that I work. Okay, so understand how this is going around full circle. This is coming around full circle, and you are going to federal prison, and you are going to sit in mental institutions where you belong. That's inherent to what is the terrorism that a psychopath engages in. You're talking about what is a psychopath that's now faced with the evidence of its criminal conduct. You're faced with the evidence of it now. All right, and so I want to be clear. The entity it is currently 9:19 p.m. and the Ontario Police Department that is flying over the Ontario Museum right now, which is already established in evidence. The entity is that is the same entity that is stalking in the bathroom, and that's why you hear me say that to that third party. She is engaging in what is heavy duty stalking. And let me be clear: this is what Satan does. This is the pattern. This is speaking to that psychopath. This is the threat. This is the one that you are going to chain them down and restrain them and take them away from being able to pose any more threats to the public. Because you have what is the more that I heavily document. I'm talking about when I have some super powerful documentation, which is just incendiary to the entity. You're talking about what is Satan. Satan is a loser. Not just a loser in eternity, a loser in life. I'm talking about you lose. It's not just that I won. You lose. That's a very real result. The fact that I win and also that you lose. You are engaging in what is, as the loser, the entity engages in more conduct to its own demise. So the entity will greet me with flying in circles over me as I exit a venue after it monitored my documentation all day long. For example, the entity is witnessing my documentation today as I am in Ontario, and I'm speaking to the demons that are the Upland Police Department, who are going to federal prison for engaging in kidnapping and engaging in what is harassment, criminal defamation, exercising fictitious authority under the law while you're engaged in criminal surveillance and terrorism, federal stalking, because you are hostile to the fact that it's being documented. All right. And you're doing so in concert with the people of the state who are then seeking to exclude somebody, injecting yourself in a legal process, in other words, because you're hostile to the accumulation of that documentation. I mean, you're talking about multiple grounds of federal prison. You're going to federal prison for a long time. That including or mental institutions. This is how you're going to treat. Just like this would be relevant in any other case of a stalker. Guess what? The stalker is the state. The stalker are the police. The stalker are the people of the state. Many. This is speaking to a threat. This is speaking to public corruption. This is speaking to an ongoing emergency because psychopaths are on the loose everywhere. And that's not an exaggeration. You're looking at these scenes out of hell as I document video after video. Slinging directed light all over the place. You know who does that? A bunch of demons standing around waiting for me to drag them in a federal court. Because I'm dragging them outside under their own fake sun. They're waiting for me to drag them in a federal court. But you lose. You lost. It's not just that I won. You lost. That equals a very real result. This is the conduct of a psychopath that is hostile. And so because you're hostile, you engage in more of that which is to your own demise. Understand the level, the unbalanced thinking in that. That's absolutely irrational. That makes no sense. Somebody would sit down, right? Somebody with some sense, somebody that is not an animal that's on the loose, that's waiting to be restrained, would sit down, would take several seats and calm down. And perhaps you need to cool, not the demon possessed, not the demon possessed. Not the demon possessed in positions of law enforcement. This is what the analysis is. This is what you are witnessing. This is what I am exposing. All I'm doing is press and record. All right. And that's the Ontario police who is engaging in surveillance in the bathroom and engaging in even more hovering, stalking conduct in the bathroom as I document the Fontana Police Department. Excuse me. Well, it is the Fontana Police Department because I'm documenting them on April 29th, and 2:39 p.m. is a timestamp originating from that date. But I mean, it's not like I don't have that time throughout 2019, 2020, 2021. But as of this year, I'm using this specific time as an ongoing example. And so the entity is, I'm documenting the Fontana Police Department, the Upland Police Department, and the Ontario Police Department at the same time. And that is inherently documentation of the people of the state. And so while I document this video of the fake sun over me, at 2:39 p.m., the entity sits back monitoring my documentation and is infuriated by it. I care not. I don't care. I don't care. Obviously, you can witness how much I don't care about that. So, but you're talking about what's relevant with regard to what is a psychopath. Flashing directed light on the grounds of the museum. And this is why the Ontario police who are present engaging in what is the provision of an admission, as though they're looking at security. They're not looking at security cameras knowing that I'm here. They're stalking by helicopters and and remaining around me all night long. And the people of the state facilitating video of the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, whoever works here, whoever's on the grounds, they're going to federal prison. That's how that works. This is how the entity is prosecuting itself. It's surrounded by evidence. You're prosecuting each other. That's how that works. It's group conduct. Everything that you're saying it against your counterpart. And everything that you're doing, your counterpart is doing it as well. Everything that the other one is doing, it's reasonably foreseeable to result, even if you didn't plan it. But let me be clear, these demons are engaging in what is ongoing obsessive group conduct. And you're talking about what is an intent to inflict every sort of harm that you can fathom or cannot fathom. But nonetheless, every sort of infliction of harm that the target individual is subject to, the entirety of that entity is prosecuted for it. It is evidence that I'll play, I'm with regard to a video or my podcast or whatever, but it is evidence that I will use against a minion in Los Angeles that I documented back in 2020. It's the same entity. They were group stalking then, the same exact environment, the same exact entity, and this is the evidence of what they were engaging in, what they have continuously been engaged in. The state of California has not stopped its stalking, and the Ontario Police Department is the ongoing evidence of that. The people of the state are the ongoing evidence of that. And so the psychopath engages in that maniacal rise in activity, which is the conduct of an animal waiting to be restrained, in desperate need of being restrained, posing a threat to the public, to society itself. Let alone the corruption that's revealed while they are officials. They're law enforcement agencies. They're medical professionals, fire departments engaging in that. All right, so you're talking about the levels, the layers of corruption. And they're psychopaths, animals. All right. So anyway, it's currently 9:25 p.m. and I just want to document that's the violent sex offender waiting until the very last minute. Okay, just loitering at the bathroom sink, and that's because I'm in the bathroom waiting for me to pull my panties down. That's how obsessed and at the same time infuriated Satan is as I continuously publish documentation. All right. And what I published, again, I would just want to make sure you take a look at that. It is published on my website, thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com. It's also published on my YouTube channel, The Pattern of Conduct. And it is a specific timestamp, which is 2:39 p.m. And at the same exact time, I am inside of the Upland Public Library where the entity is engaging in that criminal system, which I documented on May 28th, which is when that entity engaged in kidnapping me, while that very same exact system was underway. And that system is framed by what is that specific environment, the impossible placement of the sun over my head while I'm inside of the building of the Upland Public Library, which is not over the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library. I would not be able to see both in both cities in those buildings at the same time. at all. So that's not sunlight that's aiming through the window on the staircase inside of the Ovid Family Community Library. And that's not the sun that's over the roof, which I'm capturing. I'm clearly capturing it at 2:39 p.m. inside of the Upland Public Library on May 5th, 2022. And that was after I captured the fake sun directly over me, leaving the Fontana Lewis Library at 2:39 p.m., documenting the Fontana Police Department following me from the library, as I document them at their police station at 1:45 p.m. And then I go to the United Steelworkers at 2:39 p.m. and the Fontana Police are a bunch of demons. They're demons. They're demon-possessed, hostile, group stalking minions who are at the 7-Eleven at 16701 Arrow in Fontana, California. That's not a sun over the Upland Public Library. That's not the sun being over the entrance directly over my head at the Ovid Family Community Library. That's not the sun that's over my head at the Upland Police Department. All of those are mutually exclusive. And today I use that timestamp, and it is documenting all of those police departments at the same time, showing you what is that demonic environment, revealing what is their demon possession, that which they cannot hide based on the environment that they are around, that they are following me with, while they're also engaged in a pattern of stalking me in helicopters. Fontana Police, Upland Police, Ontario Police. Engaging in what is ongoing criminal summoning. Fontana Police, Ontario Police, Upland Police. All right. Engaging in what is ongoing harassment while they are stalking on the streets and the highways in concert with the people of the state. Documented all of that. And so today at 2:39 p.m., I captured that video of that fake sun that is not over the roof of the Upland Public Library. I would not be able to see that inside over my head at that venue. And at all of those same venues at the same time, by the way, the sun is not going to remain present, as I've documented, at those venues or in those cities on literally the block for the duration of the day, which I've documented in Upland, California, at the Upland Public Library, in Ontario, California, at the Ovid Family Community Library, in Fontana, at the Fontana Lewis Library, the 7-Eleven at 16701 Euclid Arrow Highway. No, it's Arrow Route. 16701 Arrow Route in Fontana, California. The entity is keeping the fake sun. It's on the same block this is 2:39 p.m. I'm there in the morning, and I'm also there later at 5:19 p.m. That's the fake sun, okay? And this is the entity keeping that light source directly over me, and that is evidence that I captured today. And in addition to what is updating my websites, and so this is Satan just sitting back and observing what it is that I'm documenting. And while I do so, this is the pattern. The entity, you're dealing with what is Satan. You're dealing with what is an obsessed psychopath that's both hostile and obsessed. Okay. And you're talking about what that level of stalking conduct, it increases. That's what Satan does. It increases. All right. The entity engages in more stalking as it is surrounded with evidence. That is the conduct of an animal that needs to be restrained. That's irrational conduct. That's irrational. That's contrary to your own interest, to the interest of the entire entity. And your doing so is in no way suggesting that you're anything less than what the evidence has already established that you are. You are stalking, you are demons, and you are also monitoring, in other words, aware of what is being documented against you, while I continuously document the ways in which the ongoing pattern of engaging in more heavy duty stalking, while I continuously publish evidence that is insurmountable for the entity, insurmountable. Okay. And that's what is represented by this demon that's just engaging in surveillance in the bathroom. Every time I'm in the bathroom today, which at the Ovid Family Community Library, in the private space inside of that facilitating venue, the entity engaging in what is, demon after demon, ongoing obsessive. It's like a factory of minions patrolling in and out. It's Satan is both infuriated and Satan is also obsessed. Satan is without any cause. And that obsession is also revealed through the demons that are these agencies, the police agencies, and they're just stalking day and night to their own demise. Absolutely irrational. With regard to their pattern of conduct, you think one would gather, well, if you're stalking by helicopter, she might record it on video again. All right. And you're talking about, it's just, all I'm saying is you're just taking a step back and taking a common sense view of what it is that I'm revealing to you. And the entity does not have any valid basis whatsoever. It's a pattern. And it's not only that, it is speaking to revealing when you're analyzing the mind state of the demon possessed. You're analyzing, you are getting insight into the mind of that psychopath. All right. The mind of that, the conduct and the mind state, the instability, the unbalanced, all right, the very demented mental state of the demon possessed that are the people of the state, they make up the state of California. These demon possessed law enforcement agencies, and the Ontario Police Department is one of the most vivid illustrations of what law enforcement agencies are doing across the state and in this country. Group stalking is not just underway in California, and you know this because I'm showing you what's an impossible environment. And so the reasonable question is, what's in the sky above them in Texas and in Nevada and in Arizona and in Florida and in New York, all right, and every other in Georgia. I mean, this is not the sun. It's remaining over me all day long. This is opening your eyes. It's revealing to you what Satan is doing. It's satanic, and it's demonic activity, it's satanic conduct, it's the presence of Satan exposed for the world to understand, to see. You've been looking at it the whole time, you just didn't know that you were looking at it, you didn't even think about it. Obviously, you're not, I didn't either, okay? But now you know what you're looking at because it's impossible. It's impossible. All right, and then again, like I've stated before in the past, the United States is not the center of the universe. Whatever that is, okay? And I put universe in air quotes because we've been told about this environment. We've been told things about the way that the environment works and the galaxies in the universe. It's a bunch of malarkey. But I'll use these terms because what other way do you describe these things that we have been told? We were taught this in school. We were told about this, all right? And that's intentional, all right? But I want to be clear. What we're told, the U.S. is not the center of the universe. In other words, we're not the only thing that's in existence in the world. And so it is revealing what's going on in the rest of the world as well. Because you're talking about what's supposedly just one sun. And guess what? Documentation is showing Erica Lorraine Spencer, the allegedly one sun remains over me on the West Coast in Southern California from rise until set. That is impossible. And it is also impossible that at any other time where in Central and in East Coast and in the South, that they're not getting any sun during the same time. When it's remaining over me, it's not even over the opposite side of the street. It's directly over my head at the Ovid Family Community Library. It's not any other place. So, and you clearly see that. It's a hovering light source. It's right there hanging right over my head. And it's right there, center in its placement over me. And then I'm showing you video. It's there early in the morning. It's there in the middle of the afternoon. In the middle of the afternoon. It's there in the evening. And as I remain there, then it's setting there at that same place. This is capturing the demonic, and it's informing you about what's going on in the rest of the world. Okay, but like I said, I'm in the U.S. Moreover, I am in California, and even more specific, I'm in Southern California. And I'm revealing what's going on here. But this is documentation that's letting you know what's going on everywhere else. All right. So anyway, it's currently 9:34 p.m. That is Union Pacific engaging in what is audible activity. And that is a company. That's the people of the state. It's actually demonic activity. Union Pacific trains are on the tracks, and the entity is engaging. You're talking about what is Satan creating, what is noise that surrounds me, in the same way that you're witnessing the demonic, the impossible, while a light source that we would ordinarily acknowledge as the sun, address as the sun, identify as the sun, it literally moves in real time to maintain central presence over me all day long. You're witnessing the demonic in that regard. You are listening to the demonic because these trains are not actually at the level of volume that you're hearing it. They're not occurring and stopping, obviously, with simultaneity to what I'm doing physically. No, you're talking about what is a demonic soundtrack, if you will, using that method of a train, of the sound of a train, as a manner of stalking me with noise. That's what demons do. Demons stalk with light. Demons are stalking physically in that environment. That's group stalking. And it is a violation of federal law. All right. So this is not just criminal activity in violation of federal policy. 18 U.S.C. section 22618, subsections 1 and 2. It's also under what needs to be recognized as what is terrorism, while you're subject to criminal surveillance by a government that is demon possessed, engaging in satanic tactics, which is terrorism. You're going to prosecute that, and policy needs to address it, specifically contemplating the ways in which a government is terrorizing American citizens while placing them under surveillance, a violation of their constitutional human rights. All right, it's currently 9:35 p.m. I am at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, and this is P.O.C.